Hi everyone, it's Sarah here. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great day. We're going to be looking at playing the role of the persecutor today, the bully. So we are very complex as humans. We have a soul which has its own agenda. We have our body which has its own consciousness and awareness. We have our ego, which behaves with what we've programmed in response to what we've programmed it with. We have our conditioning, how we've been brought up. We have our belief system, most of which we created before the age of 7, when we didn't have life's experience. So we often jump to the wrong conclusions. We also share a collective consciousness, and that affects us as well. We have our behavior patterns, a lot of which we have created as coping mechanisms. So we're very complex, and most of us, not everybody, but most of us have had some kind of traumatic experience. We may have been through some abuse, we may have been through a natural disaster, we may have had close people die, etc., etc. We may have been involved in an accident. So a lot of us have been through traumatic experiences, and when we've been through some kind of trauma, we create coping mechanisms, certain behavior patterns, just to help us cope with the situation, because often when you're in a traumatic experience, it's overwhelming, and then the aftermath is also overwhelming, and so we create these certain behaviors. So behaviors might be things like being a doormat. It might be something like lying. It could be being a bully. It could be putting other people's needs first. It could be addictions. There are lots of different ways you can use as coping mechanisms, and most of which you're probably unaware of. It just seems normal to you. So we develop this kind of persona, and this is how the world sees us, but it's not the real us. Okay, it's not the real divine you. It's just like a personality you have developed. And it's like we're role playing, and we can agree to also role play before we incarnate, so we can help somebody else, because often these types of roles they go with another person. For example, a victim and a rescuer go together, or a persecutor and a victim go together. So we can agree to play a role to help somebody else as well, and it is helping us to some extent too, because everything is for our learning and our growth. So common roles are victim, where you're always blaming somebody else and not taking responsibility for your own life. Martyrdom, where you choose to suffer, either consciously or unconsciously. Playing the role of rescuer, where you need to rescue people, and playing the role of the persecutor, the bully, the strict judge, which is the one we're looking at today. Now, just to let you know that these roles can change, so you can be all four. You can be playing all four, but you might have one that you predominantly are stuck in. So a persecutor, they might come across as somebody who is over-controlling. They always like to blame others. They're very judgmental. They might be critical. They might be fanatical. They might be very self-righteous. They might feel superior to others. They might be inflexible, stubborn, angry, bullying, and they also might like to provoke drama, because they don't choose ease, so they're always trying to look for some way to cause trouble. So why are they like this? Why do people play this role? Well, sometimes it could be they were bullied as a child. When they were a child, they were bullied themselves. It could be their parents behaved like this, so their parents were role models and the person doesn't know any different. But often it comes from a belief that they are unsafe. And they use these types of behaviors, this anger and this resentment, this blaming others, to actually keep people away. It acts as a barrier to stop people getting too close, because they don't feel safe to have people too close. They don't feel safe to let love in. So they project this anger outwards to keep other people away, and it works. It's very hard to love somebody or to have a close relationship with somebody who is always at your throat, who's always shouting at you or blaming you, for example. So underneath this bully, there is often somebody who is afraid, and they can often feel weak or helpless or vulnerable, and they're just using this role as a cover-up. They can often feel afraid to make mistakes, so they hide their mistakes that they've made, and then they blame others for them. So it's a cover-up. They might feel afraid to take responsibility for themselves. They might not like looking internally and seeing how they are. They might not like to acknowledge how they behave. So it's actually easier to blame someone else, to pile that guilt and shame on somebody else, to be angry with somebody else, to act with hatred as with somebody else, than it is to take a step back and look internally and say, okay, is this coming from me? It's easier to blame somebody else, and that's often what happens. And to do this, when they do this, it makes them feel in control. And being in control is a very strong symptom of somebody who's afraid. They like to have everything mapped out, worked out, so nothing's going to happen because it's out of their control. So some people might be aware of their behavior like this. Often people might not be aware. From their perspective, they might believe they're just a bit grumpy, or they might feel they're actually holding the ideals and standards of everybody else, and they might think they stand for truth and justice, and they're just trying to help everybody else come to the same truth and justice. They might have a belief that no one else can do it as well as they can, and that they need to interfere and help everybody else have the same standards as they do. But the trouble is, often that turns everybody else, can turn some people into victims, because these other people are always being told off and having this guilt and shame piled on top of them. So the victim and the persecutor role can go together. Sometimes it acts as a triangle. You can have the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer go together. So you can be a persecutor to somebody else or to everybody else in your life. You can also be a persecutor to yourself. Are you really hard on yourself? Are you really critical with yourself? Are you always judging yourself really harshly? So, if this is you say, oh yes, okay, I can resonate with this. How can you help yourself? Okay, so the first step is awareness. You cannot change anything unless you are aware of what it is you need to change. So for a couple of weeks, walk around with a notebook in your pocket. Listen to yourself. How do you interact with other people? How do you talk to yourself? Are you playing the role of the persecutor? Are you behaving in a grumpy manner? Look at your thoughts and your emotions. What are your thoughts like? Are you an optimist? Are you a pessimist? Are you always thinking that you're the only one that can get things right? Are you always thinking that you have to interfere with other people because you know what's right and they don't? How do you feel? Do you have a sense of too much pride? Do you feel stubborn? Do you feel superior to others? Okay, so have a look at how you're feeling and how you're thinking. And from your thoughts and feelings, you can help work out what your belief system is. Now, your belief system governs everything in your life. What happens if you have a belief? Say you had a hard time at school, your teachers picked on you, you might then come to the conclusion that you're not enough. Okay, now a belief is created by a thought you have over and over again, which is why it is really important to listen to your thoughts and then to replace them with positive ones. Belief is also formed from, like, if you have a mental image in your head, something that you keep imagining is going to happen by seeing it happen, that also creates the belief. And these beliefs create everything in your life. So say you had this belief that I'm not enough. What happens is it plays over and over again as a mind tape in your subconscious mind. Now, consciously you can't hear it, which is a good job, because you often have lots of these mind tapes going round and round and round, and you'd go pretty insane pretty quickly. But what's hearing it is your body. Your body, you can think of your body as a continuation of your subconscious mind. It can hear these mind tapes. So your body is constantly hearing, I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not enough. Now, your body has its own consciousness and awareness. So how do you think your body feels if it's hearing this voice saying over and over again, you're not enough, you're not enough? Well, your body is going to have anxiety. Your body is going to have fear. Your body is going to feel ashamed. It may feel guilty. It might feel unworthy. It might feel undeserving. All these kind of emotions. And what happens is your body feels mainly fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, because if it was abandoned when you were a child, it means you would likely die. So your body has this innate fear of abandonment and rejection. So your body's fearing this fear and this anxiety and all the other emotions, and your ego mind. There's a part of your ego called your id, and your id is responsible for your safety. And your id picks up on these feelings from your body and thinks you are under threat. So your ego then creates these feelings too, and you feel them. You feel this fear, you feel this anxiety, this unworthiness, undeserving, guilt, shame, whatever. And you buy into the illusion that these feelings are yours, but actually they're not. They're stemming from your body and then stemming from part of your ego. They're not real, okay? They're just an illusion. And then your ego also comes in with, the ego is the voice you hear in your head. What if I do this and blah, blah, blah happens? What if I do that and blah, blah, blah happens? So if you have a belief that you're not enough, you are going to be sabotaged by all these feelings that you're getting from your body, from your ego. And then you will be sabotaged by these, if I do this, then that might happen. If I do that, then that might happen. So you end up staying small and staying stuck. Okay, but it's not the real you. These are just coming from that one belief that I'm not enough. So working out, using your thoughts and emotions to work out your beliefs is really important. And then to change your beliefs, you need to then bring in a new positive, empowering one to overwrite the negative one. And for several months, just keep saying it as often as you can. Write it down as often as you can. Read it as often as you can. Sing it as often as you can. Okay, it's just repetition to bring in the new belief. Now, as I say, keep your thoughts positive. If you have a thought that's negative, you can simply say, dear God, please cancel that thought and stop that pathway. Same if you have an image over and over again in your head, you can use the same, dear God, please cancel that and stop that pathway, thank you. Okay, so using your awareness, using your thoughts and emotions to work out what your belief system is. Now, when we have an emotion, if we feel it strongly or feel it over and over again, it actually becomes stuck emotional energy in our energy field, in our body. It gets locked into the cells in our body. And then once it's in our body and energy fields, it can then influence how we feel. So if something happened to you and you had a lot of fear at the time, you are likely to respond to situations in a fearful way, more than somebody else that didn't have this fear locked in their body. So it is important for you to cleanse your energy field and cleanse your physical body. And we are going to talk about some techniques to do that too. But one thing I would say is when you're feeling an emotion is the best time to clear it. So say you were feeling the fear. See if you can work out where it's coming from. What did you think about that caused the fear? Was it a memory? Was it somebody saying something? Is it an event that's happening to you at the time? Use that knowledge to work out your belief system, and then you can simply say, this feeling of fear, I feel it, I honor it, I let it go with love. It's not me and it's not mine. Angels, please take it away. Okay, it's not yours. It's coming from your body. It's coming from your ego. So fear is an illusion. Unless your life is in immediate danger when fear is necessary, fear is an illusion, and it is an emotion that will really keep you stuck. So whatever emotion you are feeling, you can just say this feeling of, it's not me. This feeling of, I honor it, I feel it, and I let it go with love. It's not me and it's not mine. Angels, take it away. Okay? And then you're going to help, as well as stopping, preventing it building up in your body, you are starting to clear your energy field and clear the stuck emotional energy from your physical body. Now, it does work a lot better when you know it's not real, which is why I've explained it isn't real. It's coming from your body, coming from your ego, not the real you. Because if you really believe in it, it can be a bit sticky like glue. So, I have done a Facebook talk on fear. I have done a talk on guilt and shame. So if you have a lot of fear, I would recommend watching that one too. If you have a lot of guilt and shame, I would definitely recommend watching that. It's on my YouTube channel or that Facebook Live video I did, because guilt and shame are the lowest vibrational emotions you can feel, and they will really keep you stuck. Okay? And there's different ways to cope with guilt and shame, to free yourself from guilt and shame. There's lots of other ways that you can use. So I would certainly recommend that you watch that video if you have guilt and shame. I would also recommend forgiveness. Okay? Forgiveness is something else that will really keep you stuck. If it's you need to forgive, it is the best gift you can give yourself. If it's somebody else you need to forgive, it is also the best gift you can give yourself, because if you don't forgive them, you are just going to keep reincarnating over and over again, playing the same scenario until you do forgive. And if it's you haven't forgiven, you are going to keep yourself so stuck and so small and stop your ascension. So there is a talk on forgiveness on my Facebook page too, and I would recommend listening to that one if there's something you need to forgive yourself for. Okay, so we've talked about awareness. So be aware when you're playing this persecutor role. Just stop, take a step back. Why did I behave like this? Ask yourself, why did I behave like this? Can it be that this other person is right and I'm wrong? Ask yourself, what do I want to do here? Is the best thing to be right? Or is the best thing for me is to have a healthy relationship? Okay? So take a step back when you feel yourself playing this persecutor role. And understand that everybody, including yourself, has always done the best they can, based on their wisdom, based on their conditioning, and based on their belief system. I would also recommend you finding your divine self. Now, there's another talk on my Facebook page about knowing your divinity, but one way you can do this is look into a mirror and let your eyes go gentle. So you're not judging your face, you're just looking gently into your eyes, and eventually you will be able to feel the beautiful divine energy that is the real you. And try and find yourself. When you find yourself bristling up with anger, take a deep breath in Just bring yourself to being gentle and soft. I would also recommend doing some inner child work. Now, your inner child is that part of you that feels afraid and vulnerable. So imagine you are sitting on your lap, aged around 7. But if you've been through a traumatic experience aged around 3, you would see yourself aged around 3. If it was 23, you would see yourself standing in front of you aged about 23. And depending on how old you are, you're going to treat this child or treat this person as though they've just had the most horrendous experience. So you're just going to like stroke their hair, stroke their back, and just say, it's okay, you're safe. No one's going to hurt you. I've got your back. You're safe now. Okay, you're just going to reassure them that you're safe. And then you're going to reassure them that they're lovable. So I love you just as you are. No one's going to reject you because you are lovable and you're beautiful and I love you. Okay? So tell them they're enough. Tell them they're lovable. Tell them they're worthy and deserving. Tell them they're innocent, that they're pure, whatever's happened to you in the past. And just make them feel loved and appreciated and safe. And this is something I certainly recommend you doing every day. Even if it's just a few minutes, it will make a huge difference to you. You can ask the angelic realm at night, just before you go to sleep, just say, angels, please put your energies through me and around me, just to remove the stuck emotional energy from my energy field and my body. Or you can just say, just to remove the stuck emotional energy, actually. And you may feel a little bit of tingling, you may feel a little bit of warmth, you may not feel anything, but sometimes you can feel your arms and legs give a little jolt. And that's just like you walking down the steps and in a dream, and you miss a step and your leg gives a jolt. It's exactly the same thing. That's stuck emotional energy leaving your body, so you might feel a little bit of that going on. Just keep telling yourself, when you feel yourself getting angry or starting to judge either somebody else or yourself, tell yourself that you are allowed to heal, and you are allowed to change, and you're safe to heal, and you're safe to change. As I said, our ego, it likes to keep us small and stuck because it thinks it's keeping us safe. So tell yourself you are safe to heal, and you're allowed to heal, and you're safe to change and allowed to change. Now, you can also physically and consciously intend and choose something. Now, what we experience in life, we are always creating and choosing. 95% of it, we are doing this unconsciously due to our belief system. We are only choosing 5% of what we are experiencing consciously. So you can make this a bigger percentage. All you have to do is simply say, with the power of God that I am, I intend, choose and pray. So in this respect, you could say, I intend, choose and pray to be more gentle and kind. Or with the power of God that I am, I intend, choose and pray to be more patient, or to have more patience, etc., etc. So you can intend, choose and pray for anything. Develop patience. Okay, so if you're playing the role of the persecutor, it is likely you don't have much patience in your life. So when something's coming up and you can feel yourself getting impatient, take a deep breath in. Maybe go and drink a big glass of water. Do some kind of physical exercise. Walk with bare feet on the earth, okay? That will help ground you. When you ground, but walk with bare feet. The ions in the earth will help heal you and clear the stuck emotional energy from your body. So try spending some time with bare feet on the ground. Make sure you get enough sleep and just keep making sure you are hydrated. Try and look at things from another person's perspective. Okay, when you feel yourself getting impatient, take a step back. Okay, why is this person behaving like this? What is it likely they are feeling? What is likely they are thinking? Okay, try and see it from another person's perspective, not just your own. You can just simply say, if if you're angry or whatever you're feeling, you can change that just by simply saying, I believe I'm happy. I believe I'm joyful. I believe I'm peaceful. I believe I'm calm. Okay? You can simply say, I believe something to make it happen, because it's actually just the belief that you're feeling grumpy. Remember, these feelings aren't yours. So, I believe I feel happy. I believe I feel joyful. You can use your breath to breathe in love and breathe in gratitude. So imagine yourself surrounded by love and gratitude, and breathe it in and send it to all parts of your body. Now, the emotions have an antidote. Love is an antidote to everything, but gratitude is an antidote to specific emotions such as anger, resentment, hatred, all the kind of emotions that a persecutor might be feeling. So breathe in love and breathe in gratitude, and what will happen if you send it to all parts of your body, it will start to transmute that stuck emotional energy. You can also spend a couple of minutes a day in the morning or at night or both being grateful for things in your life. And again, this is going to have the same result. So be grateful. You can be grateful for a good night's sleep. You can be grateful for your lovely partner, for a meal, for running water, for a bed, a job, anything in your life. And you can say the same ones over and over again, although it does help if you can do something a little different. But just being grateful will really help raise your vibration and help to transmute that emotions of anger and resentment, etc. You can self-praise yourself. So remember, usually behind this bully is somebody who is afraid. Somebody who's likely to have beliefs that they're not enough or not lovable as they are, and they're using this anger as a self-protective mechanism. So you need to boost up your self-esteem. Choose words like, I am worthy and deserving. I am safe to be here on earth. I am enough just as I am. I am lovable just as I am. I'm beautiful. I'm kind. I'm loving. I'm gentle. I'm gifted. I'm strong. I'm capable. Okay? What I wouldn't do is use words that are going to judge you against another. So don't use words like I'm special or I'm important or I'm better than somebody else, because then you're judging yourself against somebody else, which is not what you want to do. Now, what you can do is look online, look up a website's adjectives that describe a person, and you'll find many adjectives you can use for part of self-praise. And another thing you can do is you can record them on your phone. Excuse me. You can say, you are beautiful inside and out, you are gifted, you are worthy, you are lovable, etc. And try and say it in a soft, monotone, gentle voice. And you can either play it over and over again at night while you're asleep, just have it on something that you just on continuous run, or what you can do is sit down and you can use it as like a self-hypnotherapy session. So what you do, you would take in several deep breaths, and then you keep your head straight, but what you do is you roll your eyeballs up. So imagine you were looking up into your hair. Take in 3 deep breaths, and as you take in the last breath, you let your eyelids shut while your eyeballs are rolled up, and then you let your eyeballs relax. So you end up with your eyes feeling nice and relaxed. And what this does, it puts you in a different brainwave state, the same one as if somebody was hypnotizing you. It's called the theta or an alpha brainwave state. And this is the best state that you're going to take in these new positive, empowering beliefs about yourself. So you can, as I say, either listen to them at night or hypnotize yourself with them. Or you can just simply say them over and over again too. The last thing you can do, and the last thing that I have listed is prayer. So you can just simply pray to whichever deity that you have, or just simply to source, to God, another word for God, or the creator, whatever words you like to use, to have more patience or to be more loving and kind. And what will happen then is that you will have opportunities then to develop these. Okay, so we are going to use a technique now called Christ Unwinding Technique. And this is a technique I developed with Yeshua, Jesus, a few years ago. And what this technique does is help bring in empowering beliefs, and at the same time, it starts to clear that stuck emotional energy from your body. So if you want to participate, just find yourself sitting somewhere quietly and just have your arms and feet uncrossed. And if you shut your eyes, take in a couple of deep breaths. And then all you have to do is out loud or in your head say, I call upon the Christ light to help me. Now, it doesn't matter what religion you are. The Christ light is source energy and it helps everybody. It doesn't matter if you're an atheist, it's still going to help, okay? So you just simply say, I call upon the Christ light to help me. Now, with your eyes shut, you are going to read these sentences as though they were going across the inside of your forehead. Now, it doesn't matter about your spelling, it's your intention that counts, so don't worry if you can't spell the words as long as you know what they're meaning. But it does work better if you can read them rather than just imagine they're there. If you're having trouble actually seeing them and you're just having to think about them, then just keep telling yourself, over and over again, it's safe for me to see my sentences. It's safe for me to see these letters or these words. Because what happens is if your mind thinks this is unsafe, it'll make it really hard for you to see them. Okay, so with your eyes shut, you're just going to read these following sentences as though they were going across the inside of your forehead. So the first one is, it is safe for me to be kind and gentle. And then just underneath that, I am worthy and deserving of having inner peace. And then what you're going to do is you're going to see your sentences go up into your brain, and they're going to start to weave left and right and backwards and forwards and up and down. Just see them going around and circling around and weaving around, and see if you can read them as they're going. They're just creating new pathways in your brain. So reading them as they're going around, it is safe for me to be kind and gentle. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. So they're going round and round and backwards and forwards. Then what you're going to do is see them start to spiral down through your head. Down through your throat, down through the middle of your chest, and just reading them as they're going around. It is safe for me to be kind and gentle. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. And then just seeing them go down the middle of your belly, the middle of your pelvis. And then just see the sentences pass out from between the tops of your legs, and they're going to spiral all the way down to the floor between your legs. That gap in between your legs, seeing them spiraling around and around, reading them as they're going down. It is safe for me to be kind and gentle. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. And then you can see them either go into the ground or just kind of going off in the distance, whichever you prefer. And then keeping your eyes shut, you're going to read your sentences again across the inside of your forehead. It is safe for me to be kind and gentle. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. And this time you're seeing your sentences, they're going to shoot out from your forehead. They're going to go spiral up your left hand, spiral up your left arm, over your left elbow, spiral up your upper arm, and when they reach your left shoulder, spiral them straight across the top of your back to your right shoulder. And then when they reach your right shoulder, you're going to spiral them back to your left again, reading them as they're going around. It is safe for me to be kind and gentle. And when they get back to your left shoulder, spiral them down the left side of your chest, reading them as they're going around. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. Just take it slowly over your heart. It is safe for me to be kind and gentle. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. And then they're going to spiral down the left side of your belly. The left side of your pelvis. Down your left thigh. It is safe for me to be kind and gentle. Over your left knee and down your left calf. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. And then seeing your sentences go over your ankle and over your left foot, and again seeing them going off into the distance or into the ground. Again, with your eyes shut, reading the same sentences. It is safe for me to be kind and gentle. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. This time you're going to see them going up your right hand, up your right arm, spiraling around and around your right arm, over your right elbow, up your right upper arm, and when they reach your right shoulder, spiral them straight across your left one, and then back again to your right shoulder. It is safe for me to be kind and gentle. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. Down the right side of your chest. It is safe for me to be kind and gentle. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. Down the right side of your belly. Down the right side of your pelvis. Down your right thigh. It is safe for me to be kind and gentle. Over your right knee and down your right calf. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. And then over your right ankle and over your right foot. And again, seeing them going off into the distance or into the ground. Then this time you're just going to see your sentences again across your forehead. It is safe for me to be kind and gentle. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. And this time just seeing your sentence go forward and just ask your sentences to be sent across all time and space, universes and dimensions. And then lastly, we're just going to finish off just imagining beautiful white or gold letters going across your chest, these sentences, going across your heart chakra, across the middle of your chest. It is safe for me to be kind and gentle. I am worthy and deserving of inner peace. And then you just say thank you to the Christ light. And And this technique, you can use it for anything, for bringing in any new belief, for any situation, for anything you can think of. But when you use a sentence, use it in the positive and the present tense. So I am worthy rather than I'm becoming worthy or I'm not unworthy. Okay, it would be I am worthy. I've just got a few more examples. Feel free to bring in your own sentences, anything you can think of, but I've just got a few more that you can use here. I am allowed to have a life of joy, ease, abundance, love, peace. I am worthy and deserving of having a life of joy, love, ease, peace, and abundance. I am the divine inside a human body. It is safe for me to be here and heal. It is safe for me to allow love in. I am worthy and deserving of having easy and healthy relationships. My giving and receiving is now in balance. I am gentle, kind, and loving. I am enough and lovable just as I am. I'm divinely perfect just as I am. I cultivate self-control. I cultivate patience. I now easily see from another's perspective. It is okay to make mistakes. That's how I learn and grow. In reality, there are no mistakes. All is perfect for my learning and growth. And everything happens for a reason. Okay, but as I say, feel free to bring in your own. That's another few examples. And what I didn't mention in the beginning was these other role plays that we play, victimhood, martyrdom, etc. There are also talks on my Facebook page and YouTube channel about helping yourself if you're playing the victim role and helping yourself if you're playing the martyrdom role. And I will be doing one in the next few days about helping yourself if you're playing the rescuer role. Okay? And but as I said in the beginning, that you can be playing the role of all four. You just might be shifting from one to another, although you might have one. Usually you have one that you're more predominantly playing. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. And much love and many blessings from my heart to yours.